14-year-old Filipino boy sings Hotel California better than the Eagles, Simon slams golden buzzer instantly. The lights dimmed inside the grand auditorium of Britain's Got Talent. The crowd buzzed with chatter, cameras flashing like fireflies in the dark. From behind the heavy red curtain, a small figure stepped onto the stage, barefoot, wearing a simple white shirt and worn jeans. His hands trembled slightly as he clutched the microphone. His name was Rico Santiago, a 14-year-old boy from a tiny fishing village in the Philippines. For most of the audience, he was just another contestant. But for Rico, this was everything, a chance to change his mother's life. The judges glanced at him curiously. Simon Cowell leaned forward, eyebrow raised. "What's your name, young man?" Rico smiled nervously. "My name's Rico, sir, from the Philippines." "And what are you going to sing for us today?" asked Amanda. "Hotel California by the Eagles," he said softly. The audience chuckled lightly. It was an ambitious choice for a boy his age. But Rico didn't flinch. He'd sung that song countless nights on a small bamboo dock, with his mother selling fish beside him and the sea breeze carrying his voice into the horizon. As the music began, the hall went silent. Rico closed his eyes and took a deep breath, remembering the reason he was here, his mother's tear-streaked face when the landlord threatened to take their home, the empty dinner plates, the sound of rain leaking through their roof. He sang not to impress, but to feel. The first notes left his lips, low, haunting, full of raw emotion. The audience instantly stilled. His voice was rich and soulful, carrying the depth of someone far older. Every word trembled with honesty, every note soared with pain and hope intertwined. Even Simon, known for his unflinching critique, leaned back in awe. By the time Rico reached the chorus, something magical happened. The crowd, once skeptical, rose to their feet. Some sang along quietly, others just stared in disbelief. He wasn't just performing, he was living the song. The arena lights reflected tears in his eyes as his voice grew stronger, echoing through every corner of the hall. When he hit the final line, "You can check out any time you like, but you can never leave," the last note lingered, fragile and powerful. For a moment, the world stood still. Then, boom! Simon slammed the golden buzzer. Gold confetti rained down like sunlight. Rico covered his face, overwhelmed. The audience erupted into cheers, chanting his name, Rico. 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 Simon stood up, his voice breaking slightly as he said, "Rico. I've heard hundreds of singers perform that song, but never like that. You didn't just sing, you told a story. You reminded us what music is supposed to do." Backstage, Rico's mother, Luz, watched through tears. She had borrowed money for his ticket to London, sold her wedding ring to pay for his audition clothes. When she saw Simon press the next day, social media exploded. Clips of Rico's performance spread across the world, the boy who made Simon cry. Millions watched as his voice echoed across phones, TVs, and hearts. Fans from every continent left comments, saying his voice gave them goosebumps, that he sang with a soul far beyond his years. But behind the fame, Rico stayed humble. When reporters asked what he wanted to do with his success, he said softly, "I just want to buy my mom a home, with no leaks in the roof." Weeks later, on the night of the BGT finals, Simon surprised him on stage. He handed Rico an envelope and said, "This isn't part of the show, but someone saw your audition, a man from California who worked with the Eagles. He wants to sponsor your education and your mother's house." Rico gasped, his lips trembling. The crowd roared in applause once again. That night, Rico didn't just win a competition. He won something greater, the world's heart. Months later, when he returned to the Philippines, the villagers gathered by the shore to welcome him home. The boy who once sang barefoot by the sea was now a global sensation, yet he still carried the same old guitar, strumming under the same sky. He built his mother a simple, sturdy home and helped the local school open a small music center so other children could dream as he once did. One evening, as the sun dipped below the waves, his mother asked, "Rico, do you still dream of singing on big stages?" He smiled, glancing at the children laughing behind him. "I already did, Mama. But now I want to help others find their stage." And somewhere across the ocean, Simon Cowell watched that clip of Rico teaching kids to sing, whispering to himself, "That boy didn't just win a show, he reminded us all what real talent looks like, heart." Rico's story became a symbol of hope, proof that greatness can come from the humblest places, that the voice of one child can echo louder than fame, louder than fear, louder than poverty. In the end, it wasn't the golden buzzer that changed Rico's life, it was love, courage, and a song that carried the soul of a nation.